Good morning, guys. Good morning, all of you. Are you able to hear me clearly, everyone?
Good morning, Revant. Yes, we are able to hear you.
Okay. So in today's class, I just want to understand like whether you have learned the concepts of the options while we are launching these instances. So let me ask you a question, and then we'll see how you answer, and accordingly we'll discuss the practical. So let's say now I want to launch a Windows instance. So definitely for that I need to use a security group and a key pair. And later again I am planning to launch a Linux instance, and I will be using the same security group and the key pair. Same in the sense, security groups you can modify. We have seen security group means group of ports. So you can add any number of ports. Even while launching, after launching the mission also you can do modifications for the security group. So now, is this possible or not? Can I use same security group and key pair for both the missions?
Yes, you can use.
Yes, you can use it.
Others? Should we do practicals so that you will get much more clarity using same key pair and same security group? Fine. So whatever I have discussed, let's do practical and see whether it is possible or not. Because some of you said yes, others did not say anything. So I don't know what to consider whether it's yes or no. So let's do the practicals. Have every all of you created your accounts?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Please be on me. Please, someone Kamakshi, promote. Let's go to ECP. Okay, we are in Mumbai region only. Hmm. Second, let me delete. I don't want to use this. I will create new one. Today. This will be late. We'll create new today while launch. Yes, one more thing. This is a refresh option. You see, wherever you see this is a refresh at AWS console level. So let's say whenever you just now I have deleted that one key pair and one security group, but still it is showing the old numbers 1 and 2 here. So what you did, I just refreshed it, so that immediately it came back to normal values. So you no need to always go for the browser level refresh. This is browser level refresh. So it will take some extra time for refreshing the browser level. Whereas if you use the AWS level refresh, it is very quick, seconds, fraction of seconds. Fine. So let's go to instances. First, let me launch Windows. We know. Now that you know how to launch, I'm not taking much time. If you have any doubts, you can stop me in the middle anywhere. Since we have already discussed, I'm doing this a bit quick today. Okay, so let's start with Windows free tier. So always make sure you are choosing the free tier. Storage. Right. So now I am creating a security group called something common. Common security group. That means for everything I am going to use the same security group. And what is the port you need to open? Automatically, AWS only will guide you. How? Yeah. So we haven't discussed this. How AWS came to know that 338 will be open the moment you enter step 6? Why AWS is automatically showing 338? What can be the reason, guys?
And
Sir,
I
because we
selected
use
Windows in
Windows
the
OS.
Right. So in the first step, we have chosen Windows
Windows
as
OS.
our OS. So AWS will keep this in mind. So what AWS will do? This person has chosen Windows OS. That means I need to open 338 and then only he can enter inside the mission after launching the mission. So that is the reason why when the moment you enter step 6, by default automatically AWS only keep this open. Later I said if you want, while launching the mission also, you can add any rules. Even after launching the mission also, you can do modifications for this security group. That we are going to see in today's class. Review on launch.
Sir, I have one doubt in this case. Actually, when I was studying the first class, day before yesterday class, so first time it will successfully launch in EC2 AWS instance. When you try to second time, it's we mentioned in the 30 GB data, right? It's automatically redirected to 8 GB. And again, if your RDP security group is there, right? In the security group section, it's automatically redirected to this client. I modified to RDP.
Mhm.
So after instance is launched, it will not show to the RDP client. It will show SSH client. What's the issue? I don't know actually. First time it's working fine, and the second time only I'm saying.
It's okay. We'll discuss that later. So now let's create a new key pair. Something like common key and then download key pair. Now we'll go to launch instance. Launch instance. So what are the things you need to remember? So now we are about to connect a Windows machine. So what should be the format of your key pair if you have to connect a Windows machine from Windows to Windows?
.com.
Password.
Password. So you need to convert your PEM to password. Who will convert that? You need to
AWS itself.
yeah,
AWS.
AWS itself. And where we will enter all these details. What are the three details you need to enter?
RDP.
IP address,
IP,
username, and password.
password.
Username
Password.
and then password. These three details you need to enter. So let's get these details. Select this actions. And then go to our detail. So here I have the three values. So get password. It will take some time. It is still launching. So give it some time. Meanwhile, we'll open that. So DNS username and then so upload your pen file. Go to download common key. and then declare password. Okay. So now we are able to successfully connect. If we are unable to connect, it won't show all these things. It will show some error here. So that means successfully we are able to connect over Windows machine. Now the next thing we want to investigate is whether using the same key pair and the same security group we can launch an Linux machine and can we connect to it or not. So now let's try launching Linux. So what I'm doing is here, I will get bill or not now. If I launch a Linux machine parallelly.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
8 GB space, right?
For extra 8 GB because already 30 GB free tier is occupied by Windows machine. And what is the free tier at account level for EBS?
30 GB.
30 GB. So it's okay. It's just for a matter of 5 or 10 minutes. Maybe I'll get 1 rupee or 2 rupee bill, so no issues. Box. Security group. Now you see which option you need to use. Are you creating a new security group now or you using
No.
already
Existing.
existing? So already we have an existing security group. What is the name we have given? Common.
Common.
Common security. So you see here, this is the common security. But we are about to connect to which machine now?
Linux.
Linux.
So which port should be open?
22.
But for this existing security group, which port is open? Only?
3. No, only RDB 338.
3389.
That means we need to add one more
Yeah, right.
entry here. SSH 22000. Then only the security group will work for Linux also.
Yeah.
But can you edit here? At this
No.
Can you see any option of editing anywhere? No.
No.
So what is concept here means while launching the mission, you can use an existing security group. You can attach it. But yes, we know that we need to do some changes. When we will do after launching the mission, we will go straight away to security group option. There we will add one more entry. This one, whatever we thought of adding. Then it will work automatically. You understood, right? What I said?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now review one. See, it is only giving us the warning. What is the warning? You will not be able to connect to the instance. Obviously, we will not be. Why? Why? Because we did not open 22. Your current security group does not have 22 open. We know that. What we are planning later, after launching the mission, we are planning to add 22 port for the security group. So it's okay. Sometimes it gives warning. You can ignore it. Once you know the concept, slowly from experience, while you are work from day by day, one by one class, you will get to know which are the warnings you can ignore, which are the warnings you need to take care of all this slowly. Continue. And this warning also you no need to worry about that. Why? Because this is something related to the security group 00. So someone of you asked me in my WhatsApp, so what is this warning like it is coming? So I said that is related to the 00 in the security group. So when I explain the VPC concept, what is the meaning of this 00, then automatically you'll understand what is this, why it is called open to work. So okay, it's okay. Since the discussion came, I'm saying now only so that you don't need to wait either. What is the meaning of 00/0? Just remember now blindly 00/0 means everyone or any IP on this planet. That means from any IP or everyone in the world in 00/. So what they are saying, Revant, you have allowed 22 or whatever 338900. So what it is saying here is your allowing for everyone. That means everyone can come inside your mission if you're allowed. So it is a security issue maybe. So if you want to restrict, you can replace this 00 with some other exclusive IPs, only 1% or 2% like that. But it's okay. We can ignore it. Why we can ignore it? In coming classes, you will only understand. So for now, remember 00 means nothing but moving further. Not only now, moving further also. Whenever you say 00, what is it meaning? It means open to the world. That means anyone from any mission can access your mission. Can access in the sense they can come inside your mission to see what is there. But they need to have IP. So they don't have IP, right? So no issues as of now. Yes. Now, which one you need to choose, guys? All these days, yesterday and day before yesterday, which option we are choosing? Create a new key pair. But now, what is the option you need to choose? You want to create a new key pair or you want to use existing?
Existing.
Existing.
Existing. So choose a existing. So you have to mark this, you see. So what is this? It is asking AWS is saying, you tick this. I acknowledge that I have access to the selected private key file. Access in the sense nothing but what do they mean by access? I have already physically present in my system. That is called I have access. That means I am already having the key, that common key dot pen physically present in my laptop or desktop, whatever it is. That is what it is saying. And that without this file, I won't be able to log into my instance. So that once you mark this, then only you can launch the instance. Obviously, if you don't have this key file, you cannot log into this machine. That's why AWS is reminding you. If you don't have this one, you cannot log into machine. So be careful while attaching this key to your Linux machine. So what happens is, let's say you have attached the common key here, and when you go and see in your downloads, this key is not there. By mistake, you have deleted it. Can you log into the machine?
No, you can't
No,
log.
you can't log in. That's why
No.
you won't be logged into my machine. So again, you need to launch the machine in a new fresh machine. That is of waste. You simply terminate it. So it is like what? You have built your home, you have locked your home, but you don't have key for it. Can you go inside it without key? No.
No.
Now launch instances. Okay, Windows instance is launched. We have connected it. Okay, just wanted to show you that we can launch and we can connect. Okay. So I can then we can terminate this. Windows. I'll give it some time. Usually it will take some 5 minutes. So let it be. Now let's try to connect Linux. Yeah. Now what are the two things? We have launched it fine. If you have to connect to it, what are the things you need to do? Now you only say me.
Sir, first need to open the port, and then we need to go to the puttygen to generate the password.
Others, what is that is correct, or is there anything else we need to do?
Yeah, we have to generate PPK using PTJ. PTJ.
And that's it. Anything else?
And security group also we have to change from
Right.
RTP
Fine, correct. So what will we do? We just want to check. Let's check. I won't open port and I will try to connect to Linux machine and we'll see what happens. Because we did not do that, right? We did not check like that way without opening port whether we can connect or not. First, what we will do? Let's try to connect without opening the 22 port and see what will happen. So the first two, which format? Linux means
PPK.
yesterday I have given you table that is always basics. Moving further in your career. Okay, so these are all files, common key. Now we need to convert this to APK, save private key. common. Let's select enter. Now let's connect to this actions. User at the rate of type DNS open putty research authorization upload your PPK file. Will it get connected?
No, sir.
No. You see, if it has to be connected, by this time it will connect immediately. You know, the moment you click connect, it will connect immediately. And issue also, you know, what is the issue? Why it's not getting connected?
422 is not open.
Right, you see, the error came network connection timed out. It's okay. Now let's check by making modifications to your security group. So let's go to security group. Security groups, you can find separate option guys in the left pane. You see, you scroll down like this. Under networking security group, you can see. So what you do, don't go to the options. Only what I'm teaching you. Whenever you're free, if you're having free time, explore all the options. What are the new options? If you click this, what is there? So that you will get familiar with the complete console. By end of our course, you need to get familiar with all the options. Of course, we are going to discuss, but still, whenever you are having free time, you explore on yourself so that you can remember much more. Go to security groups. Where is the security group? It's not shown. Yeah, see, sometimes you need to refresh this, then only it will show here. So what is our security group? Common. So let's go inside this. Go to the security. You see guys, what first of all, what did we discuss security group means?
A set of ports.
You are opening port. That's why traffic will come inside. Once it loads the information, the traffic will go outside. So what do you think is the traffic will go outside from the same port or different port? Have we discussed that concept?
No.
No. This is different. This is different, guys. This is called outbound port. This is called inbound port. But all these days we are discussing about which one only?
Inbound rules.
Only inbound. But there is something called outbound also. So what is this outbound? Let's see. First of all, see what are the rules. Okay, go to inbound. So what did we allow? Only 3389. So,
889.
right. So that means for my mission, if I attach this security group, that means this mission is having only one port attached. So the traffic is coming, and we are able to see once I connected to Windows EC2, are we able to connect and see the mission or not? This Windows instance just now.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
We are able to see means the traffic has went inside. At the same time, the traffic also came outside. Since it went inside and came outside, then only we are able to see in our laptop, in that software, in that RDC. Since traffic came outside. Let's say if I did not open this port, outbound port, can you see the Windows mission?
No, sir.
No.
So what is in that case? What happens? Your traffic will go inside, but it won't come outside. It got stuck here only. So that's why both are important, inbound as well as outbound. But here there is catch. Did we do any modifications at outbound rules level?
No.
No. But still we are able to see the windows. So what can you guess? What can be the rule of outbound?
So by default, open, sir.
Right. Correct. By default it is open. Since by default it is open, that is the reason why you are able to see anything, whatever you want, without making any changes to your outbound rules. Whereas at inbound rules, you need to mention specifically what is the port you need to open. Then only your traffic will go inside. You got my point, right, everyone?
Yes.
So now let's see what are the rules of this outbound. So someone said by default everything is allowed. You see, it's correct or not? What he said. What is the meaning of this? All
It's
traffic.
correct.
All. What did I say? 00 means everyone in the world.
Everyone.
Analysis.
So that is the reason why this is always basic rule. Guys, moving further also, we never play with outbound rules of a
Outbound rules.
security group. We always play with only inbound rules. That means you restrict.
Inbound rules.
You take the decision who has to come inside with the help of inbound rules. So I can give you an example. Security group as a cinema theater, guys. Okay, let's take a cinema theater. This is a cinema theater. Okay. So if you have to go inside theater, this is the entrance, right? This is inbound, incoming. So will there be some person or not checking your ticket while entering the theater? You check your ticket or not? Someone standing that person while entering the hall. Yes. But will be there any person standing outside while coming outside? Will anyone check your ticket while coming outside? No.
No.
So what is the rule of outbound? Outbound means here rule is, I mean in cinema theater, everyone is allowed to go outside. Everyone. Who is everyone? Does that mean everyone in the cinema theater or only who entered? You're getting my point, right? I say here everyone. But what is the meaning of everyone here? Everyone means only who
Entered.
entered inside. So where did I restrict? So where did I filtered my audience during the entrance only? Only who is having ticket, I have allowed them only. When I say everyone, only the people who have ticket, only the people who I have allowed to sit inside, only those can come outside, not other people somewhere outside the theater. Who other people? Everyone. Same is the case here. What is the outbound rule? In outbound rule, you're saying all. What is all? All means not all traffic. Only whatever the traffic you have allowed in the inbound. That is the meaning of all here. You got my point? So, so just remember, because since we did not discuss about this inbound and outbound rules, I have discussed this inbound and outbound. That is the reason why we never play with outbound. We always play and do modifications for the inbound rule. Now, what is the thing we need to do? Why we came here? We need to add which port?
SSH port.
SSH. So edit inbound. I will SSH. See, you don't need to type port number. These are universal names. Wherever you go, RDP means 3389, SSH means 22. Universally, globally followed. And you need to give it's 000. So 00 means what I say? Open to.
Open to the world.
This is your description, guys. Again, this is optional. What is it? Just what I said. Moving further in real time in your companies, you don't deal with only 1 or 2 ports. Maybe you will deal with some 10 ports. Suddenly, some non-technical person saw your security group. So how can he know what is this for? What is this for? What is this for? If you write any description, at least by studying the plain English, they can understand. So that's why this is an optional. Even though you explain it, you don't explain, no problem. But if you explain it, even though some non-technical person see your security group, they can understand, okay, this port is for Windows, this port is for Linux, open to world, like that. Even though if you don't give, that doesn't matter. Nothing technical is there here. Just for your understanding. Same like tags. You can say kind of tags. What is the purpose of tags? Just for our understanding. Okay, now save rules. Now we have changed the rule. We have added one more port. Like that, moving further in coming classes, we are going to add some more ports also on top of this. We will discuss one by one, step by step, all those. Fine. Now let's try to connect to Linux now. use putty SSH upload your PPT. See, are you able to connect or not now? The moment you have opened port 22, obviously you are able to connect on immediately. So whenever you are unable to connect, immediately it should strike your mind. Of course, that comes with experience. What might be the issue? You should be able to guess the what can be wrong. Where did you did wrong? That comes with experience, guys. Okay, that also. So now from here you can use Linux commands. Of course, I will teach you Linux commands in next class. In the next class, we are about to launch a website. We will launch a Linux mission. Inside that Linux mission, we are with the help of some Linux commands, we are hosting our website. And how we see our website, all those things we'll be seeing in our next class. It will be very interesting. But for that, what is the basics? You need to have an idea how to launch a Linux mission, how to connect to it, all these things. That's why in the initial classes, we should be strong in the basics. On top of that, we will be learning concepts in depth, one by one, slowly. Right now, I close this. Now I want to show you something else here. Now also I'm going to connect to Linux machine, but while connecting, I am not copying the EC2-user. Observe carefully, I am just copying DNS. You see, that means only the missions, DNS or IP. Copy, go to putty, paste it, SSH authentication, browse, and give the PPK comment. So what I need to give here? What is the value I need to give? Any guesses? Any answers? Anyone?
EC2 username.
If I give Revant, will it work? If I give your name, it will work. Let's say I give Revant.
No.
No, it's a proper username.
Right. It's no. There is some relation between the user and key. So let's say your laptop is there. In your laptop, can you create users or not? Once you open your Windows laptop, you can have different users. One is administrator. You can create your own user like that. If you have to log inside your Windows machine or Linux machine as a Revant user, so I need to press my password. I can't give admin's password or admin's name. Same is the case here. So what is the concept here? Whenever you create a Linux machine, any Linux machine, what is the default user of a Linux machine given by AWS? Default user is
EC2 user.
EC2 user. And whatever the key, whatever that PEM file, this is the key. So this key belongs to which user automatically?
EC2 user.
EC2 user. So what happened while I'm connecting, I'm using which key? I'm using this key, this user's PEM key. So obviously I need to give the owner of this file name. So who is the owner of this file? EC2-user. That's why if you give login as EC2-user, then only it will work. So now let me do the same thing. Open putty and I will give. In fact, you see, if you observe carefully, they are asking only hostname or IP address. In fact, they are not asking username. But since I know the shortcuts, I have directly showed you the shortcut. You don't need to enter EC2-user again. Straight away you copy here only, automatically it will only take the username. Give that PPK file. Okay. Now you need to type EC2-. Guys, again, this is the basics. Any Linux machine, you will log into as EC2-user only. Any PEM file. Who is the owner of any PEM file? Whenever you launch any new PEM file, by default, the owner is EC2-user only.
Okay.
This is at logging inside, guys. I am saying this user level, user owner at machine level, not inside level. You try to understand my point. So don't say Revant. If I want to log in as a Revant user, what I need to do? Even if you want to log in as Revant user first, you need to log inside as EC2-user only using that PEM file. After that, your Linux administrators will be there. What will they do? They will create inside users, groups, all these things. This is the job of Linux administrators. Using Linux commands, they will create inside users, many users, 50, 100, whatever you know. They will create Raven, some other person, all these. And they will give you your key file. So next time, after you log inside your machine as EC2-user, then you should change your user, something called as Raven. Then you will change as Raven at the rate of. So straight away, what I'm trying to say is straight away you cannot log into any EC2 machine as a custom user. Any person should log into a machine only with the EC2-user. And then if you want to become an administrator, okay, that's leave it.
Sir, I have one doubt.
Yeah.
You said right, EC2 user is everywhere you can use that. In real time, every person have his own individual user site. That time, what we can do?
That's what I'm saying. Anyone first you will go and you have, let's say in your project there are 50 persons. 50 persons are there and 50 persons want to work on the same mission. So first of all 50 persons will be having in their laptop the PEM file. With this PEM file, they will log into mission as which user first. The first step is obviously everyone has to log in as EC2-user. After that, they will use one more Linux command called switch user. Switch user Raven. Then it will, this EC2-user will be converted to as Raven. So for that, first of all, you need to create a user. Who will create that? Linux administrators will take care of that, creating users. So currently what it is saying when I try to switch, SU means switch user. So user Raven that does not exist. If you have created, it will automatically switch to Raven. And again, then it will ask password. Once you go to Raven user, it will ask password. So who will give that password? Your Linux administrators will give you password once they create your user. You cannot do everything. You cannot do all functions with EC2-user, guys. EC2-user is not having everything to do. So let's say even though 50% has logged inside the machine as EC2-user, they cannot do all functions. That means they cannot install any software. They cannot delete something. Why? Because EC2-user don't have permissions to do any task, because it should be secure. Only either you as your user can do or root. Like in Windows, which is the user having full privileges? Administrator, right? Similarly in Linux, which user is having full permissions? Root user. So how we will convert the root user? What is the advantage of this root user in the coming class? When we are about to discuss some Linux commands, then you will understand much more.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah. Now let's launch one more mission. So what did I say? We discussed so many different flavors of Linux. What is another flavor? Ubuntu. Is Ubuntu a flavor of Linux or not? So let's try to launch an Ubuntu mission. Now, first let me terminate this and see how to connect to it. Ubuntu. Launch instances. Where is Ubuntu? You can search it. You see, this is a symbol of Ubuntu. Ubuntu here, and this is free type. Okay. So we are good to practice with this. Ubuntu. p2.micro. Rest all same, nothing much. Storage. You see this also. Since it is a flavor of Linux, what AWS is recommending minimum C drive is, root drive is only 8 GB. So why do you think this? Have we discussed this concept? In Windows, you are using 30 GB, fine. In Linux, why it is 8 GB? Have we discussed this point in earlier classes? What can be the technical reason?
No.
Okay, so what you guess? Yeah, since now that the doubt came.
Size of Windows is more than the line.
Okay, any others?
in Linux we use directly commands, whereas Windows we use mostly GUI. Maybe for that it occupies
Right.
more space.
Correct. True. True. Right. Simple example, guys. Simple example. We watch movies, right, in our laptop, desktop. So what is that files? In what are the types of format of files? Videos. MP4, 240 pixels, 480, 720. What is the highest? 1080. And what is the latest one? I think 4K. So what are these? These are different. Quality of your video. If you open 250 pixels video, maybe the clarity will be less, screen size will be less, but you can see the movie. But the quality will be best, this one. But the same movie, if you watch in 720 pixels, it will be, the color contrast will be more, the size of the picture is more, the clarity is more, the quality is more, everything. Now let's compare the size of the video file. So what do you think is the size of the movie same for 250 pixel quality and 720? Maybe 240 pixels movie will be somewhere around 400 MB, 720 pixels maybe 2 GB. So why? You see, the movie is same, even the video format also same, but not format is not same. The quality is different. So that is the reason why the size of the file is more. So if the quality is more, obviously the size of the file also will be more.
Yeah.
So what is here? The same, apply the same logic here. In Linux, what we are working, are we having any colors like Windows, GUI, graphical options, bursting things, just point and click options? We don't have any GUI. Linux is having only completely
CLI.
CLI. CLI means that black screen, terminal. So obviously, the size of the OS file is very less. Where when compared to Windows, what is Windows? In Windows, you have both GUI and
GUI.
CLI. You have CLI or not in your Windows laptop or desktop? Yes. How can you open? You click that CMD command CMD. See, this is our CLI in Windows. So Windows is having both GUI and CLI. That is the reason why the size of the OS file is big.
Bigger than
Right. If you are having something big size, definitely you need to have more hard disk. Sometimes you buy softwares, right? That software CDs, game CDs. What it will write? Have you any observed anyone? If you buy game CDs, you can see some software CDs. What they will write on the CD on the minimum? They will write on the print minimum system requirements, and what they will give? Minimum you should have 2 GB RAM. Minimum you should have 500 GB hard disk. What is this minimum? What is this minimum? Then only it will support. That means if you have to install this software, if you have to install this game, your system should have at least this much configuration. Then only you can install the game and play the game. Same is the case here. See, similarly, what AWS is suggesting here, if you are launching a Linux machine, minimum you should have 8 GB. Similarly, if you are launching a Windows machine, minimum you should have a 30 GB. This is called minimum system requirement. Then only you can install the OS. So now we got the point why Windows is 30, why Linux is 8.
Yes, sir.
So since Ubuntu is also flavor of Linux, obviously Ubuntu also works on CLI.
8 GB.
So let's go with 8 GB by default. So you can use the name, let's say Ubuntu box. What did I say, guys? Moving further, you can call anything: instance, server, PC, computer, laptop, box, anything. But the technical name is instance. Ubuntu or what? What is that?
No,
Yes,
same code.
22 only.
If you get the doubt, what did I say? Whenever you enter any step,
Also one of the Unix flavor, right? Anyway, we are confined to SSH type.
right. Yeah, answer is there. But let's say, of course, this is the first time you are listening to this OS. Let's assume 100% you don't know the answer of it. I ask you what is the port of Ubuntu. Definitely you don't know the answer because for the first time in your life you are hearing the port and Ubuntu name. So you can't answer the question. But how can you guess the answer? What did I say? Whenever you enter any step, some default values are suggested by AWS. So what is the value suggested by AWS here? Port automatically
22.
22. So you can get the answer here only, even though if you don't know. So that means definitely AWS is having an idea here. What is the first OS you have chosen? Accordingly, it will suggest you the answer of in step 6. So what is the answer? Even though you don't know the answer, by giving AWS only gave you the answer by default 22. So the answer is yes, 22. But the technical reason is someone already said, since it is a flavor of Linux.
Linux.
All flavors of Linux have the same port, 22. So we don't have any other ports, guys. Only how many OS we have discussed in our first class? Only 2 OSs are there, Windows and
Linux.
Unix.
Linux.
For any flavor of Windows, always the port is 3389. Whether you launch Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10, 2016, 2012, 2000, that doesn't matter. Those are all flavors. That's it. Options are different, but the technology is same. So the port is always same for any Windows flavor. Similarly, version. Similarly, for any flavor of Unix or Linux, the port is same. Why? Because all are Unix flavors. That's it. So let's go with an existing security. Again, already we have a common security. You don't need to create. So what did I say? In your real-time companies, you will have 100 or 200 or 500 missions, guys. Do you think you have to launch 500 security groups every time? No. If there is already a security group which can be used with a new mission which you are about to launch, you can simply attach that on existing. How we have used just now existing security group. So let's take example of my company. In my company, I have 500 EC2 missions in Mumbai group, and I have 20 security groups, and I have only 2 key pairs. That's it. Just imagine, guys, 500 missions, 20 security groups, 2 key pairs. So what did you understand by this? By these numbers? You can launch any number of missions. That doesn't mean each mission should have a separate security group and separate key pair. For all my instances, I will use only 1 key pair because I can't keep a track of 500 key pairs. So in my team, for everyone, I already shared them in the Google Drive. So in our Google Drive, we have 1 key pair. Even though, let's say your system is crashed suddenly, you don't need to worry. Simply, you raise a ticket for your IT team. They will give you a new laptop or desktop. Go to your Google Drive, download your key pair. Again, you can start working on it. That is how in the real time it works. And then launch. Again, you can choose an existing key pair. In fact, we already converted PEM to PPK. So what is the format here, guys? Again, you might get doubt. So what can be the format of your key file? Same PPK. Ubuntu is a flavor of Linux. So what we have discussed, Linux. If you have to convert to Windows Linux, the format should be PPK. Since Ubuntu is also a flavor of Linux, it should be PPK. Yeah. So now let's try to connect. So give it some time, 2 minutes, it will get launched. Ubuntu. Action. What was this? See, now I am launching only. I'm just copying DNS. Observe carefully. Only DNS. Open 50. Host name. That means host name or IP. SSH. Authorization. And I will give PPK. Yes, I need to connect. What I need to give is here.
UBT.
Ubuntu.
Yes.
Finish Ubuntu.
So in case if you ever get out, blind rule is whatever is there before this at rate of, that is the username. So what happened now? The file is same. The PEM file is same. That means the lock is same, but I have created another key with the name called Ubuntu. That's the only difference here. So now you need to enter Ubuntu. So let's see what will happen if you enter EC2-EC. Says wrong. Okay, now let's try using Ubuntu. This is it. Authorization. Now get Ubuntu. See what is how you entered? What is the username you entered into the machine? Ubuntu. So this is the concept is always the key and username are always interlinked. So whatever the username you are using, you need to have an since you are only launching mission, definitely you will have an idea. You don't need to get confused. You can find all these details in below this. Whenever after launching a mission, if you want to know what is instance ID, what is IP, so many details you can find here. But of course, you don't know all these details. Moving further, we are going to discuss slowly. What is this public IP? What is this private IP? What is this DNS? Why are these generating? What is the use case? All these we will be discussing slowly one by one. Because this is proper in-depth networking concept. In coming classes, we are about to discuss VPC. It's a very, very important topic for a cloud engineer. Then you will have an idea, okay, being cloud engineer, what I am doing, what I will be doing all the days. Once you join in the companies, then you will understand once we discuss this VPC concept. So till then, I will be saying you the options which you can understand only. Which you cannot understand, I won't bring them because you will get confused. Whatever you can understand, I will bring that only. Slowly after developing basics one by one, then I will bring into new options and new features. Okay. Now let's terminate this.
Sir, I have one doubt.
Yeah.
When you're connected to Windows mission, we are generating the .pem file, right? Same PEM file will be used in Linux box or Ubuntu box. We need to convert it to some
PP.
format. Can you please explain that format? I missed the topic. How to convert that format?
How to convert? Using that software, right? Puttigen. We are using that software, right? Puttigen. You upload that PEM key and convert it into PP key.
Okay.
It's okay. You can go through our recorded videos. Even in yesterday's class also it's there. Even today's class also it's there. You can go through it. Yeah. Pramod, don't unmute. So much background noise. Fine, guys. So what we will do? Just introduce yourself, no, so that you will have an idea. What are other people in your batch, so that you won't get scared. You are alone. Okay, there are freshers, there are experienced candidates, there are non-IT. You will get to know everything. So let's maintain this format. You say your name, where you are from, what you are doing, if you are having any experience as a civil engineer, mechanical engineer, IT or non-IT. If you are a fresher, say fresher like that. If you are having any gap, you say I passed out this year, but I am having gap. So now I am trying to move. Just introduce yourselves. Okay. So let's start with who is this? A. Manjunath.
Hi, Revant.
Yeah, you can.
This is Manjunath. I completed my post-graduation in 2014. I'm working in a mortgage field. I have 2.5 years of experience in this field. So I need to move to the IT field. That's why I'm.
So rest of others also you can follow the same format. Manjunath has explained very well his introduction. The others also you can follow same. One moment, guys. I will only call the name. You can say next Akhil Kumar. I'm just coming alphabetical wise. Next, who is Akhil Kumar? It's okay. Don't feel shy because in interview you can't be silent. Try to you have to learn these communication skills also. You shouldn't be scared. No one is seeing your face. No one knows where are you. You can talk whatever you want. Akhil, you're there?
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, myself, Akhil Kumar, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I'm doing a job in Mavi Corporation right now. My experience was 1.4 years. I'm a Windows administrator, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. Next, who is this? Atuluri Rakesh. Atuluri Rakesh. Yeah, Rakesh, you're there? Atuluri Rakesh. Fine. Next, Chinna.
Hi Rakesh, this is Chinu. I'm having overall 7 years experience in IT. Currently, I'm working with TCS as a ETL developer.
Okay.
So I'm planning to shift to cloud engineer.
I think one more Chinna is there. Who is it? Next Chinna.
Yeah, that is also for me. I am connecting to mobile itself. So
Okay. Fine. Next, Hemant Kumar.
So good morning, sir. My name is Prameet. The computer is a teacher from my specialist from ECE schools. Later, I had to join the system administrator for 3.5 years and working the system administrator experience from last 6 months.
And next is Hemant Kumar Venkam Shetty.
Hi everyone, this is Hemant. I am from Andhra Pradesh, Ongole. Currently, I am working as a project coordinator for ISP network engineer. Having around 3 years experience.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Next, Kamakshi B.
Hi, Raymond. Hi, everyone. My name is Kamakshi. So currently I'm working in Capgemini as a Java developer. So I wanted to update my skills, so I wanted to learn new technology. That's an expectation from this course.
Next, Lavanya. Lavanya Melissa. Yeah, Lavanya. So in the interview, the first question will be there. So say about yourself. So how well you introduce yourself, how clarity you introduce yourself, it makes a mark. Definitely, it makes a difference in the beginning of the interview. So these things you have to practice. Apart from technical, yes, you need to have some communication skills also. It definitely makes difference. Next, Muhammad Rafi.
Hi everyone, I'm from Tamil Nadu. I'm working as a web developer. I finished my degree in 2020 in BTech CSE.
Okay, 2020 passed out, BTech CSE.
Yeah.
And you're working already?
Yeah, working for past 4 months.
Okay.
As well.
So you did not waste any time?
Yeah.
Okay. Next, Nitin Patil. Nitin Patil. Pramod.
Good morning, guys. My name is Pramod. I'm basically from Pune. I'm a retail banking professional having more than 5 years of experience. And I left Infosys Limited in 2019 December. Just I wanted to move on technical background. That's why I joined AWS. Thank you.
Next, Pratyusha.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Pratyusha and I'm from Karimnagar. I'm a BTech graduate, graduated in the stream of Computer Science and Engineering, and I'm a 2020 passed out only. I don't have any experience.
Raja Vardhan Reddy.
Hi Revan, I am from Bangalore. I completed BTech 2017. Presently, I am working in mapping. I have 1.5 year experience.
Then, Ranjit Singh Bhatia.
Yeah, hi Raymond, Ranjit this side. I am from Punjab and I have total of 4 years of experience and currently I am working in HCL Technology with the domain of storage and backup. So I want to switch to the cloud engineer. That's why I joined this course. Thank you.
Okay. And then Tarni.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Tarani here. I've completed my graduation in 2009 and I've joined in ICICI for 2.5 years. Then I worked with Access after I got a baby. So after 6 years of gap, I've joined in last year again. I've started my career as US taxation analyst. Now I want to change my career in a different way, so I choose this. Thank you.
That's good. Next, Vinod, the last one. Vinod, yeah, the last one.
Hi, Ravint. My name is Vinod. I am a postgraduate with 2 layers of experience. Currently working as a delivery lead.
Okay. Fine. So yeah, so you have seen, you only listen like what are your friends, the other person's experience. So it's a mix of all. Not only this batch, every batch is a mix of different streams, different technologies, freshers, non-ITs, ITs, all these things. So by end of these 2 months, everyone will be on the same page by the end of this course completion. The basics of AWS, the way you understand it, the way you implement it, the way you express it when anyone asks you about any service or anything. So that is the reason why you see whatever the option and I'm explaining you as part of the course, I am immediately correlating to the real time. So I am not I can say you simply this is the option. If you press this one, this happens. But why you have to press? What will happen if you press? What will happen in the company's it will press? All these things I am saying at the same time. So that you are learning that option at the same time you are learning the real time usage of the same option. That is what we are interested in. So that makes you develop confidence once you enter inside the companies. And then
Revant, I have a basic question.
yeah, you can ask. Someone is guys. I am done with today's class.
Yeah.
If one moment, if you don't want, no one is having doubts, you can leave the session. Those who are having doubts, you can stay back and get them clarified.